Okay, let's try that again, shall we? Told you I was having some technical difficulties. So welcome back. It is Wednesday the 23rd of June, which means it is time for Facebook Live. So I'll just wait for people to hop back on. When you land, just leave me a comment so I know you're here. And hopefully we can get started. I'm just going to double check that I am indeed live where I should be. So hopefully it will work this time. Let's have a look. Okay. Am I live? Okay. Let's see. Okay, all right. I think we're here. Let's see. Oh, hi Diane. Welcome. Yeah, third time lucky. What can I say? I think Facebook has been giving various people problems recently. I know quite a few other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators who've tried to go live and have been unsuccessful and are not sure why. So, hi Lynn, welcome. So yes, as you arrive, just leave me a comment. So I know you're all here. Sorry, I'm just trying to sort out my glue. And yes, please, if you would share this video, I would really, really appreciate it. If you're watching on the YouTube replay, then yes, if you could give me a thumbs up and share, that would also be fantastic. I'm just cleaning out the nib of my glue is not working, so I'm just using my pokey tool to try and clear that up. Hopefully my glue should now flow. Hi Kat, hi Sue, welcome. Just doing some essential maintenance on my glue to get it running. It doesn't want to come out. How odd. Hi Sue. Yeah, no, it was just last week I had to cancel, unfortunately. Just one of those days. I got home from work and it was just like, no, this is not going to work. My head is just not playing ball. But thankfully I'm all right now, which is the main thing. So what I'd planned to do with you last week, given that Sunday was Father's Day, was masculine cards. And in fact, masculine cards is the theme of our card swap this month. So I know we've missed Father's Day, but Father's Day isn't the only time of year that we need masculine cards. So I'm going to do some masculine cards for you tonight, which hopefully should provide a bit of inspiration. I know that lots of us have a hard time with masculine cards, because what the hell do you put on it when you can't put flowers or butterflies or all those sorts of things on there? So, but before we get started, there's a couple of really exciting things that I want to share with you. The first one, as you'll see, is that we've got a very special thing going on tomorrow. So for 24 hours only, it's free shipping on orders over £35. So make sure to get your orders in before it starts at 11 p.m. tonight and ends at 11 p.m. tomorrow night. So as I say, it's great. Just £4.95 is our usual postage. So that's extra money to spend on goodies. The other thing is obviously we've got a lot of our products from the spring summer catalogue are retiring and they'll be gone by the 30th of June. So get in now so that you can do that so you don't miss out, and then you don't have to pay postage, which is fantastic. Coming up in July, I don't have all the details yet, but coming up in July there's going to be a designer series paper sale. As I say, I don't know what papers are going to be reduced, what papers aren't going to be reduced. Don't know that yet, but as soon as I do, I will post it and let you know. The other thing I wanted to show you today, before we get into the card making, is that I had an order delivered last week. Just bring it over. And what I ordered were these. Sue Bishop says she's made her masculine card swaps already. Well done, Sue. Congratulations. Just having a drink. So, I have purchased some of our brand new kits, which I'm really, really excited about. We have 10 new kits available, 6 of which are stamping and 4 of which are non-stamping. So I've bought my favourite 5, the Fab 5, and I'm just going to run through them with you this evening. These are a great, inexpensive way of getting your crafting fix. So I'm not going to open them up. I'm just going to show you what's in here. So this one is the You Are My Anchor card kit. I love this. So this is some like little mini cards and some boxes. So you will see in this kit you get everything that you need. You get a clear block, you get dimensionals, you get glue dots, you get your twine, you get all your pieces. Some of them are pop-out die cuts, all of your bits to make your cards. You get a stamping spot, so this one is Pacific Point, and you get the stamp set. So again, yeah, Diane, I love this, and what I love about it is that even if once you're done with the projects, you'll still have your block, you'll still have your stamping spot, and you'll still have your stamp set. And I really like these. Are some cool images because I'm not really a big seascape kind of person, but I love the anchor and the lighthouse and the, I don't know if you can read that. Let me just get something on the back. So it's the sentiments there say, you are my anchor, you're a lifesaver, adventure awaits, and then you've got all these lovely little cool, cute little images. So I think this is a really versatile little stamp set that you'd use plenty of times, even apart from the actual kit itself. So that is the, oh, and of course the other thing is that it includes all of the instructions. So here is your instructions as well. So if you've never stamped or crafted before, you got everything you need in here. The only thing you might need are maybe some scissors. That would be it, but everybody has scissors, right? So that is the You Are My Anchor. I have no idea what's in each one of these boxes because they're all the same. So it's a bit of a lucky dip. So the next one is, yes, I think this might be my favourite, but I haven't decided yet. So this is the Sentimental Rose card kit, and I just love the look of these. So the stamping spot you get with this is grey granite. I'll show you the stamp set again, and this is just a great all-round stamp set. So you've got a lovely big flower, leaf, and then your sentiments. Again, thank you, thinking of you, happy birthday, congratulations, best wishes for you. Great general sentiments. And then if we just pop this over, so again, you can see you've got, these are just for cards. So you've got your block, you've got your dimensionals, bit of twine, all your embellishments and bits. So these kits are £20 each. So those of you who are in the stamp club could get one of these for your £25 monthly club if you wanted. Next one, this one is a non-stamping kit. So you can see, let me just show you there. So you've got 3 different cards. We've got a shaped card here. We've got this one, and then we've got this one with the die cuts. But you can see that the sentiments are pre-printed for you. So this is really just a stick it together card kit. And I think these ones are, I can't remember exactly. I'd have to check it for you. I think this one might be £12, so it's a lot less expensive. But again, really, really great little gift for someone or for yourself. Or if you're going away, great for crafting on the go. Next one, yes, is the No Matter the Weather card kit. So again, this is a stamping kit. So you've got your 3 different cards, so it makes 9 cards. You've also got your envelopes. And so yeah, you've got your glue dots and everything else you need, your card bits. So this, you can see you've got your die cuts. I love these wellies. I think they are very, very cool. And then the stamping spot that comes with it is basic grey. And then sentiments. And the stamp set is lovely. I like it. You've got the lovely clouds, some little hearts. Really, really lovely. So no matter the weather, we're in this together. Wishing you brighter days ahead. You are capable of amazing things, and let love grow. Lovely. Hi, Amy. Welcome. So that's another one. And next, what's this one now? Ah, yes. So this is the For the Guys card kit. So this is for masculine themed cards. So again, you've got 10 cards this makes, 2 of each design, and you've got the coordinating envelopes. So again, lovely, lovely, easy peasy. Nice colours in this one. And you get a Mossy Meadow ink spot. And then again, the stamp set's got some great sentiments. So you've got Father's Day, Dad, Brother, Uncle, Nephew, Son. So good for just different relatives, grandson. I like that. Thanks for all you do. Really, really lovely. So again, these are just my pick. We have 10 different ones. I couldn't really justify buying all of them. So there we go. There's the kits. As I said, I would absolutely recommend them. And what they're also great for is if you've kind of lost your mojo a little bit, not quite sure where to go or how to start, a kit is a fantastic way of just getting going and getting cracking. So speaking of getting cracking, shall we make some cards? Let's do, so as I said, I'm going to do some masculine cards. And I've just got a few sort of general things to think about when doing your masculine cards that kind of help you out. So if you need to do a masculine card and you're really, really stuck, then just think about some of these kind of principles. So the first thing to do is to think about your colours. So again, you know, with masculine cards, we tend to go for more muted sort of colours. So for our first card, I'm going to use 2 of our new ink colours. So we've got Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen. And one of my top tips for masculine cards is to use texture. So just tend to keep masculine cards quite clean, quite simple. So unless you've got stamped images or embellishments or whatever that are specific to something that the person is interested in, be it fishing or golf or football or whatever, unless you have that, or unless they have an interest like that, then it's kind of a bit difficult to know where to start. So as a general principle, keep it fairly simple, because that gives it a nice clean look. Use texture. That's a great way to add interest without getting too fussy, because that's the thing with masculine cards. You don't want them to be fussy. So I've used here the Art Gallery embossing folder. So this is part of, it's kind of put together with a very flowery bundle. So it'll be easy to miss or to not think of for masculine cards. But I think this is a great one for just creating that super texture. I guess if you had a plasterer in your life, that would be a great one, although they'd get fired if they plastered a wall to look like that. So what I've got is a card base of Soft Succulent. And then I've got my layer of Evening Evergreen. And I love this combination for masculine cards. I think it's lovely, and it's a bit different to just the usual browns that we usually do for our masculine cards. And then I've die cut this label. Can't remember what die set it's from, but any kind of label. And then I'm going to take the Flowers of Friendship stamp set, which is, you know, quite very feminine, but I like this sentiment here. So like that, you know, you might have a pal who's a guy that you want to appreciate. So we think a little bit, and again, this font is quite, lends itself to masculine cards, because again, it's quite a blocky font. So I'm going to stamp on here in Evening Evergreen, and hopefully I will get this one straight. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to grab, have I got it here? I'm just going to grab the Quiet Meadow stamp set and do a little bit of, I'm just going to grab some scrap paper as well. There we go. I'm just going to use the splatter here just to create a little bit of texture. So again, this is a way to just add interest without adding embellishments, so to speak. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp off. There we go. So it just creates a little bit of extra on here. Okay. And then the other thing is, don't be afraid to use ribbon on your mail cards. I know we like probably steer clear of ribbon because it's such a girly thing, but if we look, so I've got my soft succulent ribbon which coordinates with this, and if you just put it across just as a band like that, it's very unfussy and doesn't look particularly feminine. So like I said, don't be afraid to use ribbon on your cards for mail cards. So I'm just going to just put some glue dots on each end of my ribbon and then attach it to the back. Okay, it doesn't matter which side of this embossing folder you use, they're both lovely. The important thing is just to get this straight. Okay, there we go, and I'm going to glue that one down. Again, you can use any embossing folder that you've got, but it needs to be quite a distinctive pattern, I think, just to lend it that interest that it needs. Okay, so there we go, give that a good press, and then we'll pop our sentiment up. Grab some dimensionals. And similarly with this layout, if you had some, you could just use patterned paper as well. So let your paper do the talking for you. So you could go with quite a busy pattern if you wanted, because the rest of the card is really quite simple. So there we go. Very clean and simple mail card. Okay, so keeping the colors simple, using your texture, but don't be afraid to use your ribbon, okay? And don't discount stamp sets that have got flowers on them, because very often you've got little bits like texture, like sentiments, that'll work well on your mail cards. So that's our first card. Now for our second card, I'm going to use... So I mentioned earlier that you could do this exact same layout and just put some patterned paper behind here and it would do exactly the same thing. And again, you could change it up, you could make it bright and happy, depending on the person that you were giving it to. But I've got another idea for you about how to use your paper, patterned paper, to create an interesting pattern on your card. So we're going to start with our base of early espresso. Okay. Like so, and then I've got these papers are from the In Good Taste designer series paper, which is carrying over from the spring summer catalogue into the annual catalogue, which is great. So what I've done is I've cut a piece which is a 10 by 14, which is a little bit lower or a little bit smaller. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it up, but I'm going to show you how I cut it up. Okay. So what we do is we take this 10 by 14 and we cut it at 10. So we've got a piece that's 10 and a piece that's 14, like a piece that's 4, I should say, like that. Okay. In fact, no, that's wrong. Oh, I'll cut another piece. Hang on. Where's my paper? It should have been 9 and 5. Oh no, I think it's right. Hang on, let me check that I'm not being a div. Yes, I am. So let me just grab another piece. 1 second. Where have I put? Oh, here's my paper. So let's see if I can get this piece again. So I want this one. Okay. So cut this. Okie dokie, let's get this one straight now. So, yes, it's 9. All right, so we've got a piece that's 10 by 14, and we're going to cut it at 9. Okay, and then we're going to cut both of these pieces in half at 5. Okay, so what you end up with is this. Okay, I'm just going to pop that on the card so you can see it clearly. Okay, now a really simple thing you could do is simply turn them over like that and you've got a great pattern. But we're going to do something a little bit more interesting than that, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to cut all of these on the diagonal into a triangle. So what you want to do, you want to take your trimmer, so whether you've got a little guillotine like this or you've got a rotary trimmer, all you want to do is line up this corner and this corner on your cutting piece like that. Can you see that? So you can see I've got one edge here and one edge here. So when I chop it, I end up with my 2 triangles. Okay? And then the same here. My tip for you in doing this is try not to use papers that are particularly directional. Okay? Try and use something that's got patterns that doesn't really matter which way up you put it. So again, we're just going to line up our 2 corners and cut. There we go. Okay, and don't worry if they're not precisely, not 100% accurate, because we can deal with that. And then I'm missing a piece, just 1 second. Done. Right. You love that sound of cutting, Diane. Well, you can come here and cut all my paper for me if you want. I'll be quite happy with that. So what I've done is I've also cut a couple of other sheets same way. So I've got a mix of patterns. Okay, so this one's going to make quite a lot of cards. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take our pieces like so. You just want to line these up. So let's see. Here we are, and then we'll do the same. So I want the opposite down here. Oh, can you see what I'm doing? So again, this is one of those things that you just play around until you get something that you're happy with. So I want that one, and let's see. No, I think I want that one there. And this is what I mean about making sure that your pattern is easily turnaroundable. Is that a word? Is that a thing? Okay. So now let's see, maybe we want a different one here. Yeah, this is what I want. If we pop that there. And swap that out. like that. There we go. Okay. So again, this is a bit of a faffy one, but you could just go through it until you're happy with your balance or layout. And again, you could equally use this layout for a feminine card with more girly kind of papers. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to stick these down onto our piece. Okay, so now those of you who know me well will know that this is quite a departure for me, that I have used so many different patterns in one card. I never do that. Those of you, as I say, who've known me for a while will know that I struggle with patterns. I tend to have one pattern on my... Now, look what I've done. I've gone and I've just moved everything across and mixed it up with my bits. So, which way did I have it? I think I had it... that way. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so try and get to the edges. So this is why I'm cutting a piece of card the same size as what I want, rather than putting it directly onto my base, is that I can use the edges of this piece to line everything up. Go. You could also alternate it with just plain. Doesn't all have to be patterned. So there's lots of different ways that you could use this layout. I think it's really cool, and like that's quite easy to do. And a great way to use up your little scraps of paper. Okay, so you can see that's over the side a little bit there, but that's not important. We will trim that, and then we'll just do the same at the bottom. Okay. And you can see I'm also, the other thing I'm trying to do is make sure you see that one's up that way and then down that way opposite, so we've got a bit of order and logic to how we're going around. So this basically becomes a reversed image of what's on the top. There you go. Whoops. And this is why I like to use my liquid glue, because I can fiddle. Okay, and as I say, don't worry about this middle bit here, because we have a solution for that. Okay, so there we go. Alrighty. And then I have lots of other pieces here to make other cards. So now what I'm going to do, normally I'd use my scissors for this, but for you, Diane, I'll use my trimmer. Okay, so I'm just going to trim the end. That side's okay. To trim this one. So what I'm doing is, if you can't see, is I'm lining the card piece right against the edge of my blade, so what's left hanging over is just the excess, and then we'll trim that down. Okay, so there we go. Alright, and then we're ready to pop that onto our card base. So I think that's a really cool pattern. Now, as I said, don't be afraid to use ribbon on your cards. And we've got this gorgeous faux suede trim, which I think is great for mail cards, because it's very clean and unfussy. And can you see here, we're just going to place this across here, and then that covers up any slight imperfections in this whole thing, okay? So that's why I wasn't especially worried about getting this exactly right. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put my silicone mat, is I'm actually going to put some tape on the back of my ribbon, because I want it to lay pretty flat on here, okay? So you can see my tape has kind of come over the side of my ribbon here, so I'm just going to turn that down, okay? And then we'll just place our ribbon down like that, and then just flip it over to the back. Okay, and then I will try and get it straight, just because it's you guys. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to pop that up onto our card base. Okay, and that's going to go on here. Hi Susan, welcome. It's alright, we're only on our second card. You missed the kits earlier, so when we're done I suggest you go back and watch them again, because they're great. And also I told us all at the beginning that tomorrow, or starting tonight at 11 p.m, there's a 24-hour free shipping promotion going on, so get your orders in and you pay no shipping. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to take this again. So we've got this vine design, which is another stamp set that is going away for good, actually, on the 30th. So we would recommend you get your hands on that one. But I'm going to use the Happy Birthday, okay, because I think that would be a nice, again, it's a very feminine looking set, but the fonts are quite nice. So I'm going to take some crumb cake and I'm going to stamp on here in Early Espresso. So let's grab Early Espresso, which is here somewhere. There we go. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to see, will this fit this way? No, it won't. Okay. I'm going to just pop that in the center, because I think what I'm actually going to try and do is see if one of my circle punches will work with this. So let me just have that. Yeah, let's try my oval. Oh yeah, that works. So we'll pop that up as well. I'm going to use some mini dimensionals for this. So there we go. And as a general rule, for masculine cards, I would say use your geometric shapes. Stripes, dots, squares, triangles, circles, zigzags. They're a great way to add pattern and interest without, as I say, adding too much fussiness to your card. One thing I love on mail cards is I love hexagons. We used to have a hexagon punch, but we don't anymore. And I think that's a great way of adding like that, an embellishment as hexagons, where you might put a flower, you could put a hexagon there. And that's, I think, it's a real shame we don't have that anymore. But anyway, so that's card number 3, I think. Where am I putting them? God, I'm so disorganized tonight. Here we are. Is it card number 3 or card number 2? Can't remember. I think it's card number 2. Yes, it is. All right. Huh. Okay, so for the next one, so talking of using our patterned paper, so again, you can just I was saying about letting the patterned paper do the talking, but the other thing to do, so this is from the same paper pack, but this is just a plain grey texture. I love this, it's absolutely gorgeous. But the other thing to do is to let your sentiment do the talking. So using really, really big, bold sentiments is fantastic. So I've been using this one a lot over the past few weeks. This is one of our new ones. I don't want hello, I want happy. So let me just... There we go. Okay, and what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to heat emboss this. So I'm just going to grab my big block. Okay. And grab our bits. Okay, so we've got our embossing buddy, our Versamark, and our heat tool. And I'm going to use, I can't find my black embossing powder anywhere, so I'm going to use some shimmer black, which is the next best thing. So it adds a little bit of shimmer. So shimmer is not a bad word on masculine cards. You can add a little, you just don't want to go too sparkly. And there's a fine line between shimmer and sparkle, as we all know. So I think shimmer on a male card is fine. And, you know, certainly using metallics also works well on masculine cards. So, you know, I could heat emboss this in silver if I wanted, but I don't think it'll stand out as much as I would like. Okay, now because this is a big sentiment and it's photopolymer, I'm just going to use my stamping mat underneath to make sure I get a good impression. Okay. Okay, so let's just ink that up. I'm going to stamp it down, try and get this straight. There we go. So give it a good press. I think that's worked. We'll see in a second, and then we'll add our embossing powder. Now, as I say, I would rather plain black on here, but I can't find mine anywhere, so we'll just have to go with this. Okay, and then we'll just pop that back into our little pot. And then we will emboss. Heat up my heat tool. So again, good tip is just when you're heat embossing is to get your heat tool nice and hot before you bring it to your paper. Creates less warping that way. Okay. So now let's... this reminds me, those of you who are on here who are demonstrators, I don't know if you know, but believe it or not, our autumn-winter catalogue is coming out soon. It's coming out on the 1st of August, but today, well last night in fact, I got a first view of what that catalogue is going to look like, and you guys are going to love it. It's really, really good. Some really cute Christmassy stuff in there. And on other occasions too, but mostly Christmassy. And the other big news is that we are going to have celebration for August and September this year, which is really, really cool. So we'll have a second celebration, which is fantastic. So there we go. We've got our happy birthday. I think I missed a little bit there, but I can come back to it. So that looks really cool. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this down. We're going to keep this quite monochrome. So this is another, again, in terms of color schemes for male cards, monochrome is nice. So like that black and grey, I think is really kind of classy, kind of modern. So this has got quite a nice sort of urban-y feel to it, which I like. Okay, so I'm just going to press that down. There we go, and then glue on me. So then that's a basic black, and then I've got a basic grey card base. That way. Oops. Okay, and then I think what I'm going to do is bring back in this texture stamp from the Quiet Meadow stamp set. So again, just straighten that out a little. Okay, so again, just adding a little bit of texture to this. So I'm going to use Smoky Slate because I want it to be quite light. Okay, and we're just going to add a little bit more to that. There we go. So we've just got a little bit more, as I say, texture and interest. And then we can pop this up onto our base. So I'm going to use my black dimensionals for this. Okay, oops. Here we are. And then finally, okay, we do have these matte black dots, which are going to be great for masculine cards. So again, you can add your bling without it being bling, so to speak. So we can just add a little bit of, a little extra to this. Don't think I've got the glue with that one, so let's pop that back on its sheet. There we go. Okay, and then I think we'll put a small one. Yeah, we'll just have 3. So there we go. And you know what? Let's add some spritz. Let's add some sparkle to it. Okay, so this is what I said. This is the difference between shimmer or sparkle and glitter. Okay, so just going to add a little bit of shimmer on there, which is great. So there we go. Super, super simple. Just using your, and again, if you don't have sort of very subtle patterned paper like that, just use your cardstock and create a bit of a background or a bit of a background texture on there with your splodge stamps or your texture stamps, whatever you have. Lots of our sets have got elements like this for creating texture on your cards. Okay, so that's card number 3. Now, for our third card, I mentioned earlier about using geometric shapes on your cards. And circles are great for this. And the other thing is, most of our cards tonight have been that kind of very dark, earthy, masculine kind of colours. But of course, they don't have to be for masculine cards. You can go a lot brighter. So I'm going to go to what I know, and I'm going to go for my usual, which is black and white and a pop of colour. So it's over to you now, guys. I want you to suggest a nice colourful colour scheme that we could use here that would work for a male card while I just get my bits ready. So let me hear your suggestions, okay? So I want this one, and I want this one, and I think this one, dum-de-dum, and I think this one. I'm going to grab some scrap pieces of white. There we go. That should do the trick. We'll pop these on our blocks. Lime or orange, says Amy. Red, says Diane. Lime or orange? Let me think if I got lime. I did used to have lemon lime twist, but I don't know where it is. I do have orange though. Yeah, think about that one. Teal, says Susan. Boom, 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 boom. So let's put these on blocks. Teal, red, lime or orange. So what we could go for is a bit of orange. So I've got my pumpkin pie. Teal, we could use our shaded spruce. And for red, let's go for, where's my poppy parade? It looks a bit pink, but it is actually red. Okay, so let's try that. So what I'm going to do is, on my scraps, I'm just going to stamp these in different colours. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my scrubby tool a bit closer. Okay, pop our ink pads out. So it's Poppy Parade, Shaded Spruce, and Pumpkin Pie. Okay. You had a completely different thought in your minds, ladies, than I did. I was thinking sort of like shades of blue, but this is, I think, is going to be better. So let's. No, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this one in grey granite. No, I'm going to do it in smoky slate. I'm going to do it so it'll be almost like a background. So this stamp set is in the Spring Summer catalogue, and it is going away on the 30th of June. So when you go online to place your order and get your free postage, make sure to include this stamp set in your order. It's really, really cool. Okay, so I like that. Now what we're going to do is just on here, I'm just going to stamp each one of them in each colour. So clean them off. So that's our red, that's our teal, it's our orange. Okay, and then we'll do the same with our small ones. Red, teal, and orange, and then our medium one. Put this one over here. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my punches of varying sizes. So our punches are retired, which I just don't get me started. But I've kept them. But you could use circle dies if you want, so I need something smaller than that. So for these ones here, I'm using my 1-inch punch because I don't want an edge. Okay, so you can see it's cut slightly inside. There we go. And smaller punches. Okay. So my teeny tiny punch I can't find, so let me bring back in this and let's cut, yeah, this one. Whoops. Whoops. Trying not to let them jump everywhere. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to take my happy birthday and I'm going to stamp that in my stays on. So I'll use my Stamparatus for this because I want to be absolutely 100% right with this, because otherwise I'll have to start again. So I'm just going to pop my card in there and then place my sentiment. So line that up. Happy with that. So remember, when you're doing your using your photopolymer stamps in your Stamparatus, is to remember to use your mat. Now you can see here, right, my stamp wasn't 100% clean when I placed it down. That was very naughty of me, but we should be okay. So we'll just get plenty on here, as I say, because this is a really bold stamp or image, so I want to make sure I get it right. Now I think that ink pad is not as juicy as I'd like, so let's grab, I have another one. Let's try this one instead. Yes, that's better. Okay, so now we'll just stamp that down. Give it a good press. And pick it up. So yeah, this is why I wanted to use the Stamparatus, is to make sure that we get that lovely impression, deep, intense black. Okay, hopefully I haven't moved my card. There's something wrong with that ink. Hang on a second. I'm going to do that one again because I'm not happy with that. There's something the matter with my ink. Just 1 second. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this piece down slightly. Right, so let's try this one again, shall we? And let's close up some of these ink pads. Whoop. Going to give my stamp. Yes, Susan, stays on, dries quite quickly because it's alcohol based, whereas our other stamps, our other inks are water based, so it takes them a bit longer to dry. What it is that it's also quite sticky, but I'm just going to Give my stamp a bit of a clean here. There you go. Try and make sure I didn't have any residue on the stamp it's saying. Okay, there you go. Right, so let's do our big circle first. Like so. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure I count the squares where these sit. Put that there. So yeah, that's where I want it. So let's try this again. Right, this coverage with this one, I think it was just a dodgy ink pad, because you can see the coverage with this one is much better. So I think I might just need to re-ink my other Stays On ink pad. So I need to just label those up so that I don't forget that. Okay. And then just press that down. Yeah, you could use any black. You could use your Memento if you wanted. But for me, if I want a black sentiment, then for me, Stays On is the way to go, because it gives the best intensity of colour. Okay, so let's just line that back up and we'll re-ink. So again, you see, if I had my, there we go, if I had my plain black embossing powder, then I would be tempted to do that. Also, great way to get a really solid, intense black colour. But again, this is a really, really bold sentiment, so I think this last one should do it. There we go. Lovely. So I'm just going to leave that for 1 second. It stays on, dries quickly, but not instantly. And the last thing I want to do is smudge it now at this stage. So I'm just going to clean off my stamp while I let that settle a little. Okay, make sure I've not got any smudges on my fingers. Okay, there we go. Let's pop this out. Alrighty, so let's bring back in our card pieces. And now it's just a case of arranging. I mean, just that looks lovely, doesn't it? Look at that. I'm tempted to leave it like that actually, but I'm going to add and I think what we'll do is we will cut out a scrap of some pumpkin pie. Just 1 second. Don't have that. Do you know what? I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, because I think that just looks great, just like that. But I'll show you what I'm going to do with those ones. Okay, and I'm going to just do a tiny bit of spritzing on here with my Smoky Slate Stampin' Right marker. You could use a blend if you've got one. So again, take the brush tip and just flick it against the lid. There we go. Okay, but we won't let these go to waste. I have an idea for these, so just bear with me 1 second while I get some bits ready. I've got a few scraps here that I think we can use. So, okay, so let's measure these out. This is 9.5, so this needs to be 9. Clean and simple, Sue, that's right. You all know how much I like clean and simple. So 9 by 13. Bonus card, this one, ladies. Okay. So now let's just grab ourselves a white card base. There's a little green one, but let's stamp another one. Now I'm going to stamp a red one. So our big spotty red one. Now this really is stamping on the fly, ladies. Waste not, want not, as they say. So this is my 1-inch punch. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to use the... So I'm going to take the Hats Off bundle, okay, which this makes a great little, as the tiger would, as the name would suggest, it makes cuts out a baseball cap, okay. But I'm just going to do "You're the Best," okay. So this could be a congratulations, could be anything, and actually there's a little star in here as well, okay. So we'll stamp that in Evening in Shaded Spruce, because that's what I have open. Okay, so we'll just pop that down there. There we go. And then we'll grab some dimensionals. to minis and the small circles. Okay, and then we'll just lay them out, and I'm deliberately let's go there. I'm deliberately making them a little bit uneven. Go. And then I've got that little star, and we'll take some Daffodil Delight. Here we are. Okay, I'll glue this down to our red piece. Okay, and then we'll pop that up onto our card base. Oops. And there we have it now. I've managed to smear that a little bit, so let me see if I can fix that. So let's bring back in our Daffodil Delight. So equally, this would make a really good kids card. There we go. It's like I meant to do it. And there we are. So there we are, masculine cards. Let me just bring them back in, because now it's time to vote. So, first of all, we had using texture. Then we had our triangles. Then we had our using our paper and just letting our sentiment do the talking. And then we've done another really super clean and simple one here. And then card number 5 is bright and happy, again using those circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's your favorite? Let me know. So as you're voting, like I said, just to remind you not to miss out on the free shipping sale. Also, when you go to my online shop, I'll post a link when I'm done here. When you go to the online shop, make sure to use the host code, because once you do that, then I can send you a thank you gift at the end of the month when we put them all together. So that lasts from 11 p.m. tonight to 11 p.m. tomorrow night. Some of the products that I've used tonight, such as the circles and the Vine design stamp set, are going away. So make sure to get your hands on any of those retiring items before they're gone for good. So Amy says 2, 5, 3, 4, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh gosh, big mix big mix tonight. So there you go. There's just some ideas. So again, when you're making your masculine cards, think about texture. Think about colour. Sort of subtle monochrome works well, but don't be afraid to go bright and happy. Think about geometric shapes, so stripes, triangles, circles, squares, all of that sort of thing. Use big, bold sentiments to do the work for you, so that you just keep it. The idea is just keep it clean, keep it simple, don't get too fussy. Don't be afraid to use ribbon on your mail cards. Used in the right way, it's very effective. And don't be afraid to put a little bit of bling on your cards as well. A little bit of shimmer looks good. You probably don't want to go for sparkle, but you probably can do with a bit of shimmer. So there you go. Thank you very much, everybody. Get shopping, well, after 11 o'clock to get your free shipping. And I will see you all again next week. Bye.